you, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and that you have notifications turned on so you never miss a new video. Today I'm going to show you my recent go-to makeup and hair routine. This is for day or night whenever I just want to really look put together. I'm going to begin by prepping my skin with the Drunk Elephant's Protini to moisturize my face. I've gone through a couple containers of this. I'm a big fan of it. It's great for my sensitive skin. I love the rich texture of it, but it also feels very lightweight. I'm then going to go in with my IT Cosmetics CC cream. I'm going to use this as my foundation. This is also very hydrating, giving a skin-like finish while also being medium to full coverage. The CC cream is also made with SPF 50, so it's going to protect your skin from the sun. I find this applies best using my fingers to warm up onto the skin. So I'm just going to blend this out using my fingertips rather than a brush or a sponge. It took me a while to figure out that was the best way to use this. Remember, when applying less is more, you really only need like a pea-size amount of a pump to apply all over. So I'm just gonna kind of blot this in the main areas I want to apply and then spread this out. To conceal and color correct, especially on the under eye area, but also to cover up any other imperfections, I recommend the NARS Radiant Concealer. I'm going to use one that's about 2 shades lighter than my skin tone to help highlight while also color correcting. So this is going to be focused on the under eye, the T-zone, the bridge of my nose, and high points of my cheekbones, really anywhere that you want to give added structure and push forward, because when you highlight and contour, anything that's lighter is going to be pushed more forward, anything darker is going to set more back, giving a lot more structure and definition to the overall look of your face. Does that make sense? I then also just add a little bit more concealer, but this time this is much closer to my natural skin tone. So just combining the two really helped to blend this out, giving a much more natural blend overall, but while still keeping that added structure. If we used just a concealer that is closest to our skin tone, the overall appearance is going to be much more flat, giving less structure because we wouldn't have that highlight. And if we just used the highlight, it's going to be very stark and unnatural. So I'm a big fan of using the two to help give the best blend. Also with tools, I go back and forth with a small brush and a beauty blender for this, especially any area that you find creases, like around the nose or the under eye, around the mouth. I find pairing the two really help to work the product into the skin the best. Now for my contour, I'm going to use my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and this time I'm going to use a smaller brush because I want to be more precise in my application, especially around the nose. So I'm going to apply this sort of like a upside down triangle to help slim the tip and bridge of my nose. I'm just applying this with a light hand. Once I have the contour in the areas that I want it applied, I then take my beauty blender that we previously used, so it does have that excess product on it, and I'm just going to blend this over top to help soften those harsh lines. Then I'm going to frame my face, so using a blush brush this time, I'm going to place this around my hairline, jawline, and cheekbones. Okay, this product right here, I cannot tell you how much I love it. I've used it years now. I mentioned it so many times, but I just can't describe my love for it enough to you. This is the secret. I'm telling you, this product is everything. So this locks in all the product you've already applied. It helps to set everything, but also to soften and blend. So it's a full coverage foundation powder. It's going to help control oil throughout the day, soften the appearance of any texture, making all the product we've already applied blend more seamless. It's up to you if you want to apply it with a beauty sponge or a brush. I find using a sponge gives fuller application. If you use a brush, especially a big fluffy brush, it'll be more sheer. Now for the bake. I'm going to use my translucent Huda powder for this. Also a new favorite for me. This just gives such a beautiful airbrushed look overall, but also blurs the appearance of pores, fine lines, and keeps your makeup in place all day, especially those places that you find may crease, such as the under eye, or get oily later on, such as the T-zone. So I'm going to do this at the bottom of my chin to help elongate my face, right under my nose, the sides of my nose, and my under eye. So I am going to let that sit, also known as bake, while I move on to the rest of my makeup. So taking my angled blush brush and my blush, I'm going to apply this right on the top of my cheekbones, bringing this up towards the hairline, around my eye and forehead. So this is just going to add color back into the face where we want it to be, giving a more healthy, youthful glow. Moving on to my brows. My brows naturally are pretty thin. They're also pretty light because I'm naturally blonde. So we're gonna fill these bad boys in first with a tiny precise pencil. Starting at the front, I'm gonna do upward hair-like strokes, then work my way down through the middle and tail. Then for added definition, I'm going to take my tinted brow gel and place that right over top. This helps to keep the hairs in place, but again, it is tinted, so it helps to add a bit more color, giving the appearance of a darker, fuller brow. And I'm just gonna follow the same steps really quick for the other brow. But look how much better that looks. It gives so much more life to my face. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my brush and blend away any excess powder that we no longer need after baking, and then take my setting spray and mist this over the entire face. This is going to melt everything together, removing the look of any powder, weightlessly locking your makeup in place. So now I'm going to go back in with my Kat Von D palette, and when I contoured my face, I used the cooler of the 3 contour shades. Now I'm going to use the warmer shade and place this on my eye, on the lid and outer corner. So I'm just placing this right up to that crease. You can see I physically take my brush and I kind of just press to find the socket and crease area. I am applying this with more of a tapping motion rather than a sweep. I'll list everything, brand, product, and shade in the description box for you guys if you want to check anything out to shop, or if you are interested in exact shade names, everything will be listed there. Then to highlight the brow bone, inner corner, and about halfway over on the lid, keeping that inner corner light and bright. I'm going to use that same palette, but this time the lighter beige kind of pinky tone. You can also go around the edges of the darker crease color we already applied just to help soften and blend that a bit more. Super duper simple, right? Now for mascara, I'm going to show you a little trick that I've done for a long time now, but I actually don't know if I've ever showed it to you. If you're someone that accidentally hits your eyelid with your mascara wand, this is for you. All you're going to do is take some sort of plastic flat item that you already have. For today's example, I'm going to use the bottom of my foundation we used earlier on. You're just going to make like a little barrier to put in between your lashes and lid to keep that brush from hitting your skin. It also helps to push your lashes up and outward so you can see them better if you struggle with application. To be honest, the barrier doesn't even need to be plastic. I just mentioned plastic because it's something that you can easily wash and reuse. You could also use like a business card, a piece of paper, a plastic spoon. Get creative, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. This trick works for top and bottom lashes as well. So again, real quick, I'm just going to do the same thing to the other eye. Now for my lips, I'm going to apply my lip liner first. I have a handful of lip colors I alternate between, so I'll list my favorites down below for you guys as well, but my go-to is definitely some sort of variation of a nude. After my liner, I'm going to layer a liquid lip right over top. And to finish my makeup, I'm just going to add my highlight or luminizer. This is Cookie from Benefit. I'm going to take this and apply this on the cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, my brow bone, and the inner corner of each eye. This is like the frosting on the cupcake or the glaze on the donut. It just hits the light perfectly, giving your skin the most beautiful, dewy glow. It's a must. Moving on to my hair. So I'm gonna add some dry shampoo because this is day-old hair, or has it been 2? I can't remember. But I wash my hair typically like once or twice a week. Obviously, that's pending on my plans in the season. I do wash it more when I'm doing more cardio or if it's hotter outside, like during the summer. But typically in the fall and winter, like it is now, I'll only have to wash it once or twice. So to maintain keeping it fresh and soaking up any excess oil, I just use some dry shampoo. This one does sometimes spray out kind of white, but once I blend it in with my hair, you don't see the white residue anymore. So I'm just gonna use my hands and a brush or a comb to help move the product in through my hair and onto my scalp to soak up the excess oil. Then I'm gonna part my hair roughly in half, clipping up the top section out of the way so we can prepare to curl the bottom section. Once I have my hair brushed through and sectioned off, I'm ready to curl. So I'm going to take my curling wand and I'm going to take a small section of hair curling away from my face. So I find the easiest way to do this is to actually put my hand or my arm back behind my head, then twirling the hair around the wand. I just hold this for a few seconds, then let this drop. Then taking from the bottom up, I take a small clip and clip this to the base of my head. I let this cool down while clipped, still in that spiral. I find this helps the curl to hold longer, rather than just curling and letting it fall. So same thing, gonna curl from behind my head, away from my face, hold for a few seconds, then clip up that spiral to the base of my head. And I'm just going to repeat this in small sections until I make it all the way to the crown or top of my head. Obviously, be careful when you're using this. I feel like pretty much every single time I accidentally burn myself a little. But they do sell gloves, I'll link those down below too, that are heat resistant, so that can be beneficial for when you're curling your hair, especially when it's behind your head and you can't totally see what you're doing. Once your hair is all curled and clipped, I then wait for at least like 10 minutes, depending on what I'm doing that day. Typically I'll go change or whatever. Today I just went and cleaned up around the house. But give your hair time to cool down while pinned up in those spirals. You can see when I let them go, they're much tighter than they would have been if I had just curled and then let them cool while they fall. This also helps to prevent like static and frizzy hair. So then I just rub my hands and fingers through my hair to help loosen the curls a bit, but they definitely still keep the volume, making my hair look a lot thicker and giving a lot more dimension. Honestly, my hair will hold this curl for like a week. So then once I have the curls a bit more relaxed the way I want them, I just take some hairspray and kind of just spritz this on all over, but mainly focusing on the bang or crown area. And I do flip my part. Sometimes it's centered and other times I switch it left to right. So whatever I'm feeling that day, I'll start that way, but it doesn't necessarily end up that way. If I want even more volume, I'll add a texture spray and backcomb the crown or around my face and the top of my head. You can also just use your hands and kind of just like tousle it and mess it up. But yeah, that's everything for my recent go-to hair and makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the description box for more information, direct links to shop and discount codes. Double check that you're still subscribed to my channel, following me on Instagram and TikTok for more day-to-day updates. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and all of your support. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.